Could be.
Yeah,
Could
maybe.
be.
That's
Maybe it
really
makes,
funny.
apple cider.
Yep.
And now, was there I think Sean, you mentioned there was like a fire pit?
Yeah,
Do you remember
so
that?
behind the house, the bungalow here,
Yep.
there was like a built-in fire pit almost. Do you remember them doing a barbecue or anything?
I remember a hole back there that there was always wood ash in it and stuff like
Oh,
that.
interesting.
And I've also found a few, holes filled with like the garbage, the stuff that
Compost.
compost, but it was more like glass and tin and
Oh, okay.
that kind of. It wasn't compost. It was
We
really
used it as a dump.
right,
Yeah.
little dump.
But back then everybody did that.
Right, and I think it was like you reused the bottle, so it wasn't like you threw things. It's not like today where
No, we throw
everything away.
Yes.
Back then you reused
Yeah,
lots
we
of things.
reused everything.
Yeah.
Behind my house is about 150 years old, and
cool.
down behind where my house is, you can see where they used to dump. Okay, our house didn't have a bathroom in it when it was built. It had an outhouse of some kind, I don't know what. And sometime in the 30s, they put a bathroom in, and then there was a cesspool somewhere down in the backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for the water supply, we had there was a cistern in the cellar, okay, that they collected the rainwater from.
Wow.
Okay, and they had a pump in the kitchen because I found the pump. Okay, so
That's
things were a lot
Well,
different.
in this house here, the water comes from a pump in the basement.
Yep.
It goes, it's groundwater, and it's literally the
Gets
pump is
pumped up.
in the basement.
Yep.
So, yeah,
Because it was spring water up here. I remember that.
right.
Okay.
I'm going to see if I can find a picture and
And
quiz you.
the thing that was fun though is that when you took a shower after you mowed the lawn, you waited a few minutes to get warm water
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
because that water was chilly.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's see here.
And you did the outdoor shower at the
Yeah.
bungalow?
Yeah, the outdoor shower was on the house.
Well, there's one on the bungalow too.
Yep, there was. Yep.
So we're
Never
gonna-
used that one. I went
Okay.
one over by the house.
Okay.
Because that was kind of secluded over there.
Right.
I mean, you were kind of hidden by all the shrubs and everything else. So.
We'll talk about that when we go around.
Yes.
Always will be,
One of the
right?
well, there's always something.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing because when you think about it, it's only 70 years ago, 60, 70 years ago that all of this took place. Okay? And it's like so much of it got lost in that short
Yeah.
window of time. Okay? How much of our history really gets lost?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
but that's why we're doing all this work to sort of really,
Try to keep it alive.
Yeah.
Well, keep it alive and the interesting thing about Joe's work is that from the 1800s when exercise as a modality started to be more than, something for, government fighting issues, for general public, you had a number of different people who became very famous in their exercise systems. And when they died, their exercise systems died with them. And it's interesting because Joe spent, his whole time trying to promote and put his stuff out there. And he always, first he said he was 25 years ahead of his time. Then he said he was 50. And what happened? 50 years later, his system is everywhere. Well, again, his name is, and even if his name is, it's still based on what he did. It's not necessarily, and he always said, my principles are do it the way I say to do it, which I thought was always funny.
You
So-
will do my exercises.
That's it.
We have ways of making you do them.
Yep.
Oh, and when I grew up, there was an exercise program put out by this woman by the name of Bonnie Prudence.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and she was from Stockbridge, and that was a big thing that was going through the school systems when I was 9, 10 years old.
Cool.
And it could have been Joe Pilates'
right.
system too.
Well, and we're hoping that someday it still may be,
Yeah.
because the science, continues to catch up with his philosophy, his way of thinking, and his way of thinking wasn't unique. I mean, he borrowed from so many different people, and he took what was really beneficial, and it's how he, his genius was really how he put it together, because there was apparatus that had a platform that moved back and forth. There was different spring. There was all these different things, but it's how he put it together and organized it. It was really
And making not just one muscle group develop, but the entire body.
Right.
Okay. And the mind.
right. Well, and again, like I said, a lot of that was not new. it was done in different places. It's just how he put it
He
all
put it
together with his apparatus in a way that hadn't been done before. That's the uniqueness. And that, I mean, when you look at geniuses,
That's what geniuses do.
that's right.
They put stuff together that has never been put together before.
And it's not, God didn't come down and go poof and they had it all at once. They borrowed from everybody else, but it's then they saw that and they said, wait a minute.
Yep.
If I do this, and it comes
Then this
oh.
works. Yep.
Right? That's most of our scientific.
I was just going to say that.
Progressions.
That's exactly what science does.
That's
It's like,
right.
ooh, take this and take that. And it's like, ooh, cool. This works.
Yeah, and and look, I think it works for this, but no, but it does this instead, and now all of a sudden you have Teflon.
Yep.
Right?
Mix two gases together and you get a plastic. It's like, wow.
You got it. It's called playing around. All right, so I think that's good.
Yeah.
So why don't we go and start looking at the property?